Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the iOS News Sunday Paper program. This week's news: Earhart's plane may have been found. Now we know where she went down. Who gives a damn is what I say, but if you must know, keep digging away. And Apple has a new name. It's G-A-Y-G-E. The CEO has a new game. He says it's me, it's me. Next iPhone, you'll be able to use it to take peas. Shaped like a dick too. Sharp and slick, it's Apple's next new iPhone shtick. Plus the Freen's been caught. The Freen of the Pocono Mountains. More priests are busted, and hazing is now over. These stories and more with Smarmy's One Brown Eye on the World, Rice's Gamer Updates, Darren's Movie Views and Reviews, and of course our own Ron Morrow's Mystic Minute. These stories and more with our little buddy here on this week's edition of the iOS News Sunday Paper program.
It's the I'm Only Serious News Network with Dan Mahan, John Smarmy, John Rice, Dave Morrow, and Darren Martinez.
In international news, some hammerhead from Chester County has found a piece of the wreckage about the size of this newspaper of Amelia Earhart's plane. I read part of the article because I don't really give a damn, and in fact, that's the name of the aisle that he found it on. The aisle of who gives a fuck. And the Apple CEO says he's proud to be gay. Aren't we lucky? Yeah, we think it's just a new marketing shtick because next year's iPhone will be shaped like a penis. That's right. You'll be able to drink out of it if you're like him, or just use it to pee if you have to go and nowhere to go to. And Suge Knight got busted again recently. Him and Cat Williams. Oh yeah. They went catty on a photographer who was taking pictures of him coming out of some office tower. Chased her down the road, roughed her up and broke her camera. For all that, Suge Knight is now facing 30 years to life in prison, where he belongs. Well, another school shooting. This one up there in the state of Washington by a student who was a part of the Tulalip Indian tribe. After the cops arrested him, they found out he'd been all liquored up. Things never change, do they? Never change. And locally, the final dash is on. That's what it says in the paper. The final dash is on. For the governor of Pennsylvania. It's between the two Toms, or Tom as we call him. Corbett or Wolf. Well, this guy, what do you think? I'm howling for the Wolf. Me too. But we'll see. Tuesday's election day. We'll see who wins it out. But the big news in the state of Pennsylvania, folks, is the freak of the Pocono Mountains has been caught finally. Yeah, the cop killer, Eric Freen, finally tracked down by the U.S. Marshals. Gave up without a fight, although he was in one afterwards because he's all bloodied up. Well, this self-proclaimed survivalist, we'll see how he does when he tries to survive for the rest of his life in prison. Slick move, asshole. Now for more international and national news, we go to our very own Smarmy with Smarmy's One Brown Eye on the World. Smarmy?
Thanks, Dan. Hey, Smarmy here. See what we got going on. Monica Lewinsky goes on an anti-bullying tour to prevent the kind of abuse bullying that was done to her. When I think Lewinsky, I think blowjob. I would take one from her because she's got that kind of look, you know.
Oh, yeah.
She was doing the president, so it had to be good. The most powerful man in the world and the most powerful beat-jobber of our generation.
Amen.
That's right. Speaking of fellatio, a Texas woman arrested for forcing fellatio on her husband's best friend. She was charged with burglary, assault, and penis teeth marks. Terrible. Absolutely terrible story.
Unless you're a friend.
Quiet over there. Walmart under fire for fat girl costumes. People are so sensitive. If it hurts you so bad the word fat hurts you, then lose the weight. Doesn't matter if the term is plus size, fat, pleasantly plump. Either way, your waistline is big, you can't get laid, and you have a problem. Trust me, Smarty's about 30 pounds overweight, and he's struggling himself. People are so sensitive. And speaking of weight, an Alabama subway robber said he robbed the Subway store because the Jared from Subway diet failed him. This is ridiculous. Come on, have you seen Jared from Subway? If you want to look like him, you already had a problem in the first place. And I had way more better stuff than this, but I left it in my other costume, which was somebody who was more prepared, more funny, and more charming than I usually am. Dan, I'll take it back to you. What else is on the show? John Smarmy, I'm Only Serious News.
Thank you, Smarmy. In local news, sex, and more sex. Another priest has been busted for possession and distribution of child porn in Chester County. The Reverend, and I use the term loosely, was caught sharing a young girl's image on Instagram and was also found having emailed a 14-year-old girl about sex while he pretended to be a 16-year-old girl. He admitted to receiving over 100 pictures and responding to other resending them to other pedophiles he was buddies with. He stated he thought his confession would absolve him. Nice try, Hammerhead. And in Philadelphia, two 13-year-old boys are being questioned about a sex tape they distributed showing them molesting an 11-year-old girl from their school, then posting it on social media sites. Whatever happened to just playing doctor? You know what I mean? Taking her temperature. They're now under arrest with their futures in jeopardy. The boys are being recruited by the local seminary. Go figure. Speaking of getting screwed, the Philadelphia City Council has dismissed the offer to sell the PGW to an outside bidder. It's great news for all the ghost employees on the payroll, but bad news for anyone who's got to pay their bills. Mayor Nutterbutter is so full of gas that the buyer has now put a bid in for him. And one last thing in the local news, this ain't even funny, but a mother is accused of using her children for porn. An Oxford Circle woman was indicted for selling explicit photographs of her two children, ages 6 years old and 16 months old. This whore of a mother was even willing to send her 6-year-old to Michigan for some guy to fondle around with. Yeah, it's just good parenting over there in the Northeast. In sports, CB West High School. Oh, once the proud high school national champions had to cancel its final 2 games of the season due to hazing of freshman football players. This decision was made by the superintendent, David Weasel. Yeah, I'm not making that name up. Oh, yes I am. It's Wetzel. The fact that the once proud program, winner of numerous state football champions, were just 2-6 this season, with only 2 games remaining, played no part in stopping a decades-long tradition. So says Weasel. iOS News found out during our investigation that Weasel himself was once hazed in high school when he joined his high school band. He was forced to blow the tuba for 1 hour. Oh, actually it says here he was forced to blow the tuba player for 1 hour. No wonder he's so touchy. And in some National Football League news, Tennessee Titans running back Sean Green was arrested for allegedly parking in a handicapped space while he ran into a store and then speeding away when an officer was issuing a citation. He finally surrendered to police after being told warrants were out for his arrest. Now the matter could have been ended with a simple parking ticket, but now Green faces multiple charges, which include driving on suspended license, reckless driving, failure to stop, halt, and frisk, and illegal parking. Yeah, these football players get dumber by the minute. Good news in the NFL, Tony Romo's been hurt. Nah, I'm only serious. But he has been hurt, and he will be out for quite a while. So much for you Cowboy fans. All that stuff you're talking about with us Eagles people. Your team sucks. We told you it would suck. You might have started off fast, but the season catches up to you. Meanwhile, did I mention the Eagles won today? Oh yes. The Eagles had a great victory today over the Houston Texans. Unfortunately, our own quarterback went out hurt. but we have Mark Sanchez, as in the Sanchez quarterback. Sure, it's Sanchez, but here in Philadelphia, we're calling him Sanchez because we believe he will be the one to stick with us as the years go on. And in auto racing, a black man has won a race. Yes, in the NASCAR series. Actually, it was in the undercard series. But Darrell Wallace Jr. paid tribute to the late Wendell Scott with a truck painted and numbered for the Hall of Fame inductee, then drove it on to victory lane. At Martinsville Speedway, Wallace has had the win, his first win for a black driver since Wendell Scott in 1963. Unfortunately, by the time he got out of victory lane, the truck was on cinder blocks and the tires were gone. What are you going to do? That's just the way it is. Next up for us in the news, we're going to get our gaming update from our very own John Rice. John?
Thanks, Dan. And in top-ish and in top gamer news, Manuel
Noriega.
Manuel Noriega tried to sue Activision, the creators of Call of Duty Black Ops, for his likeness in the video game. The judge laughed and dismissed it. That's pretty much how it went. Anyway, I want to talk about some brand new old games. If you got, one of these or one of these, check out NBA Jam. He's on fire! I'm talking about, wild shot. Because they're almost exactly the same, just they look exactly different. Don't try to put this in a Super Nintendo. I tried, doesn't work. This, however, will maybe fit in a Sega Genesis. Try it out. If it doesn't work, email iOS News. Tell us you're an idiot. Mortal Kombat, only Mortal Kombat without blood. Sega, also no blood, which is kind of, you would think Nintendo and Sega were clashing heads. One of them would put blood in it, but no, we don't have any blood. Good news is they came out with a movie. Bad news is it wasn't that good. They did come out with more Mortal Kombat games, which were good.
With blood?
With blood, yes. Yes, and more characters. And stuff like that. However, though, great movie on the game, Toy Story. Yes. Also a very hard game. Almost like Lion King, not as hard, but also up top 10 of the hardest games ever created on the planet. Right. But, great movie, alright game. They're, most likely the same game. Just different consoles. And, that's it, pretty much. Yeah, thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Rice. And I understand our very own Darren Martinez is still saving up for his first Xbox. We're all behind him. You can send donations to iOS News Foundation, care of YouTube videos. Next up for us, in fact, is our very own Darren Martinez to give us his movie views and reviews. Darren, what you see this week?
Thanks, Dan. So another Sunday, another movie. And I saw Nightcrawler this week. Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal. And it was very good. It was really good. And to me, it showed me that he's a really good actor. I never really thought of him as, that high caliber. I mean, I did like End of Watch. I thought it was excellent in that. And I think it was Prisoners. He was also excellent. But I think this film just puts him over the top. I put him on the same list as, like, Denzel Washington and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Damn.
Those guys. Yeah, after watching Nightcrawler, it was just
what's the genre for it? What is it, thriller? Or?
Yeah, it's a suspense, thriller, dramatic. It's got some action. It's got everything. It's kind of like a horror in a sense as well. But it was very good. Just a powerful one of those films that when you're done watching, you're like, wow, that was really good.
Is there any worms in it?
Worms, no. There are no worms.
That's what Nightcrawlers are.
Ah, okay, yeah.
For fishing.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, in the news, there's another. Hollywood's always got these trends going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had the superhero movie trend, which is still big right now, and they go through all these trends. Now they got this the all-woman female cast comedy troupe trend that's gonna start soon, or has already started with Bridesmaids, and Ghostbusters is gonna be all women. Anyway,
is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like new Ghostbusters is gonna be all women apparently. So another trend that Hollywood's doing is turning big films into series on television, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And one they just announced is Rush Hour, which I can't imagine how they're going to adapt that into a TV series because Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, you know, it was successful because of them, because there's two separate personalities that are just work very well together, you know, they happen to just click, you know. So anyway, Rush Hour 2 is what I'm going to recommend. And that's only because I don't own the first one, so I have to recommend the second one. But watch the second one because I love the second one too. It's still fun. You know, third one's pretty good, but you know, it's not the second or the first. You know, but so the second one, that's what I'm gonna recommend. Rush Hour. It's gonna be a TV series. What do you think about that?
Let's see how it works. I guess we're gonna have to have a black guy and an Asian guy, right?
I don't know. It might be like
I see
a Jamaican and a Filipino or something.
Transporter. I see is a TV series now.
Yeah. And another one, Problem Child. It's gonna be a TV series.
What is it?
Yeah. Which I can't imagine. But I can't imagine you can't replace John Ritter. I mean, it's John Ritter. You know. So I don't know. We'll see how that works. Probably. You know, who knows? If it's Disney or something like that, maybe they can work it. But speaking of kids' films, you know, because I saw that as a film, Problem Child. It is Thanksgiving approaching.
Yep.
So I want to recommend the third film, a family fun-friendly film for your fun family friends and Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I want you to go see that because you know it'll get you in the mood for the upcoming holidays where you're just going to eat a lot and pass out early, as I do and most Americans do as well.
Oh yeah.
So anyway,
chemicals in the turkey.
Yeah, exactly. But that's all I got for you. Dan, back over to you.
All right, cool. A fine collection of movies. Rush Hour is one of my faves, I must say. No doubt about it. Well, we're going to close our show out tonight with our very own Ron Morrow, who brought this little guest with us tonight. Is someone from his mystical past, as he gives us his Mystic Minute. Ron?
Yes, thank you, Dan. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Mystic Minute. I am your host, Ron Morrow. With me tonight, I brought an old friend of mine. You see, I'd like to talk. I've taken a break from my search for the Jersey Devil to inform you and remind all of our audience members to please respect your elders. You see, Nanhutet here, Nanhutet has been dead for 5,000 years. It's been quite a while since he's had a chance to get some exposure, get out, get some fresh air. At this point, brain death has already settled in, so he's not very talkative. But his spirit still is tied to this earthly remain. You see, he was cursed a long time ago. Telltale signs of a curse, of the blue skin, and the, of course, blazing orange eyes. Just kind of peer into your soul there. A little bit. I don't think I'm going to bring many more severed heads around here. They might be a little more trouble than they're worth. Thank you for joining me on this Mystic Minute. Back to you, Dan.
And thanks for another clear thought again, Ron. Well, that's about it for us here at the iOS News tonight. We thank you all for tuning in. And tune in next week when we have our full staff back with us. And remember, check your Halloween candy before you eat it. Thank you. Have a good night.